discharge when the other commodity gas goes by 5 rupees? No, any discharge. So why is this? Let us talk about it. Always power price goes up, that doesn't mean that other things also. It might be a different case. In the morning we have given an example of again one of the capitalist countries because it's very closed economy, what we can do. The moment you put the low carbon transformation issue, the overall country's exchequer directly gets this. If you save something, it is your income for the country. Like they get oil and that is 18 rupee a liter. So they can afford a car of 4 liter on an average. Now, they are introducing, this country is introducing electric taxi, and first 60,000 of electric taxis, they are going to save $2 billion. Only because by introduction of electric taxis, they are going to save oil, which is having an international price. Now, are we talking about, whenever we talk about the energy saving or renewable energy, we are not talking about what is the cost of energy only. We are not putting an economic value to the sustainability and the value chain we are creating by energy efficiency or others. Now, already we have appointed IIM Bangalore plus Professor Ashok Tamil because if Ernst & Young comes with some methodology, it might be having business interests. So we have appointed Oxford University in London, Global, and IIM Bangalore to develop a methodology, global methodology on what is the economic value of sustainability, economic value of energy efficiency, renewable energy, etc. So I think next time I will give you a methodology that you can well check, yes, renewable energy should be costed like this. If real cost is this much, not it is more costly. If you do renewable energy, what the economic value you can bring in, and if you do quote what is the economic value. Anyway.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. My name is Shivan. Please don't get sad. I am not anybody.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, you are separating CO2 before combustion. You said one process called pre-combustion process. If you separate CO2, you need to fire more coal in the same capacity. Am I correct or not?
For same capacity of power generation.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to fire more coal.
Yes.
So you are separating CO2, but you are releasing more amount of H2O to the atmosphere. Am I correct?
No. Let us talk about it. Okay. I'll try to answer your question. You have 1 kilo of coal. You are putting it in a normal power plant. So roughly let us not take about 0.5 kg coal per kWh. Let us say 1 kg coal per kWh for the just. So you are generating the ashes, this whatsoever. Few of the questions are coming to me. Number 1, the conversion efficiency is just 30%. 25% roughly. Okay. With 40% of ash out of that 1 kg, we are talking about 400 gram. We are unnecessarily taking the temperature and then cooling it and throwing it out. Is this efficiency worth? Yes or no? I do not know. You are going to answer. Number 2 is that amount of flue gas. I think the maximum loss in the boiler, if I can recollect my old engineering skill, maximum loss in the boiler is the flue gas. Now, the moment we go for, can you afford that? Can you reduce that one? Because if I'm going for compared to IGCC, I will come to IGCC. What is the flue gas temperature and the net flue gas volume going out in a combined cycle power plant? Whenever we need to compare the systems, the typical, let us put 2 black boxes. put one over there, we understand there is efficiency, there is inefficiency, this. Now, compared to the, I can talk to the IGCC, few of the things. Number one, this introduced to 25%, the combined cycle power plant system efficiency is around 45%. This is one of the basic differences over there. So, your comparison not usually like this. Number two, whenever in a coal-fired thermal plant I put a coal, do I get any other value-added product? Except if I can sell that ash to the cement plant. I don't have anything else. In an IGCC power plant, first one, I get very expensive chemicals out of this. So, that's IGCC economics doesn't work only on IGCC. It also first involves what is the value added chemicals I extract during my commodification. And then when I go for the final separation, and then go for the combustion. Now, only without the CCS project, whether IGCC makes money today, the answer is yes, answer is no. Why? Because I had a real project over there, project economics with SR, which is they are trying to put out 500 megawatt IGCC power plant in Gujarat, Jamnagar plant, because they had a bottom residue which they were not able to sell, convert to the fuel gas, and the cost of fuel gas in that time was not giving the market price. So they said instead of putting that, they could convert into IGCC power plant, and with the value-added chemicals coming out from the syngas, the overall economics was positive. So, they couldn't get the license because of other governmental issues like separate case and with the problem with GE on the licensing issue. But if you talk about the economic wise, SR economic was, I had the real data. So this is because being a financial company, I had access to the real data. That project was working very well because they couldn't put a value on their bottom residue. And this bottom residue could have been very well utilized in IGCC power plants, much effective way. And this IGCC power plant is much more economical than they could buy the 500 megawatt power plant from the field. They couldn't do it for some other issues. That's the word. But your answer is, so don't look at pre-combustion, post-combustion, coal marketing, or coal upgrade, coal, so whatsoever, not isolated way. Always, there is a system, there is an environment, what is good for one environment, maybe bad for the other environment. We have to talk like this.
Actually, both CO2 and H2O emits radiation to the atmosphere. That is the reason.
Total CO2 might be the same. If we are not doing the capture, see, end of the day, 1 kg of input, carbon input, will emit theoretically complete combustion same amount of CO2. But now, if you can come up with this combustion cost of capture, when the CO2 is pure, is much less. When the cost of capture when CO2 is not pure, is much higher. So, if your project is integrated with the CO2, where you can use the CO2 capture and put in the sequestration, it's much better to go for a pre-combustion. But if you don't have that one situation, then it's not work. But the total CO2 is theoretically coming out from the plant, is basically the same.
No, sir. 1 kg of carbon absorbs 3 kg of oxygen. So it releases 4 kg of carbon dioxide.
Pardon, sir?
1 kg of carbon absorbs 3 kg of oxygen
3.67.
and releases 4 kg of carbon dioxide.
It's
So it is not safe.
No, sir, it's a 1 kg of carbon becomes 3.67.
Yeah.
Okay, precise. That's
Almost 4
geometric
kg.
things is there. That's I'm not telling 1:1.
1 is 3.
It's 44 by 12.
Yeah.
It's a 3.67 value. So that's there. So let us not get from those things.
In my humble opinion, this carbon capture and storage should be carbon capture, transport and storage.
Pardon, sir, carbon capture and
Carbon capture and put and store.
sir. All this, you're right, sir. I'm not getting. Only thing people started doing it.
See, I'm not getting this carbon capture and storage should be carbon capture, transport and storage. You develop technology to capture. Before developing technology to store, you develop technologies to transport. That will reduce the volume to be stored as well. That will give you number of ways to use the captured carbon.
I feel totally agree with sir. But so hopefully tomorrow they are going to slowly fit. The first thing you raise, hopefully over the years people will adopt this thing. So their first phase, maybe some of them will be raising. Only thing CCS is that easy to pronounce, so people started CCS. But you're right, those portions is there. The CCTS should be there. Might be. No argument. Yes, please, sir.
The problem of carbon capture and storage, I would like to tell Abdul Raziz and others, is not the problem of quality, it's a problem of quantity. India, every year, it sends 10,000 LFX of carbon up in the air. Every year, 10,000 LFX. And how are you going to catch those LFX? That's a challenge.